A new place, a new home. For a while, let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back. Take my time, just enjoy the ride.
Hi guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel.
Today we are in Palawan.
Yeah, in the capital city of Puerto Princesa.
We are Christian and Emily, and we are couple nomads. This is our story of how we quit our jobs to travel the world.
We just came here after a hectic day in Manila.
We decided to only stay one night in Manila. We've heard before that it's not really a place for tourists to go, so we just wanted to check it out. And we also landed early in the morning, so we needed a day to just rest as well. But we're gonna give our honest opinion about Manila.
If you ever guys have the chance to go there, I would rather skip that city unless you have to fly there and then you have to do a stopover. But don't spend more than one night there. I think it's not worth it to stay more than one night. So many people, feels very dangerous.
We walked from the hotel to the nearby mall 20 minutes, and we honestly didn't feel safe.
Yeah.
It felt like if I take out my phone, probably someone will take it. And this was at 10 a.m.
Yeah, we saw few people following us. Emily was the only blondie around, so everybody was looking at her.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anything would happen, but there were lots of homeless people, unemployed people, and also people doing hard drugs straight on the street. So we didn't really feel that safe, and we just wanted to get out of there.
So now we are here in Puerto Princesa. Our first opinion of the town was very quiet, very calm. But then we just passed through the local market and looks very busy. A lot of people, a lot of logistics.
It's a big city or like a big town, and there's quite a lot of things that you can do here. We're not going to do that much touristic stuff because we're going to head up north.
Yeah, tomorrow we're going to Port Barton. It's another town near here, around 3 hours by van. We heard that costs around 500 to 700 Filipino peso to go there.
And right now we are standing in the middle of the Bay Walk, which is a place where both locals and tourists come to hang out in the sunset, and there's some bars and restaurants around here and just by the water. And it's a very beautiful spot, very calm.
Very calm, yeah. And if you've never been to the Philippines or you don't have Filipino friends, we just want to let you know that they love the dancing and the karaoke. You will go to the shop of electronics, and the employees, they will be singing karaoke on the TVs.
But before we go, we're gonna go hit up the local brewery, the first brewery in Palawan.
The first female brewery in all Southeast Asia.
They make the craft beer Palaweño. We met the owner and other travelers, and after trying all the different craft beers that they had, we ended the night with some karaoke.
And today we are in Port Barton. This is a small village in Philippines. It's just 3 hours away from Puerto Princesa in Palawan. It's a very, very calm town where nothing happened. So
It's extremely remote.
yeah, we heard like 5 years ago there was no electricity before 5 p.m.
Now they have.
Now they have, yeah.
There's no worries.
But there is no like many bars to hang out at night. It's just a town that you can do activities during the day. Yeah. And our activity for the day, we're going to a place called White Beach, or we hope to go there. It's just
everyone says it's a difficult hike.
to go there.
We'll see.
So far it's not that bad, it's just steep road, but it's all pavement.
There's also rain in the air.
It's about to rain too, as you can see there, and some thunders.
We are here in the typhoon season,
Yeah.
at the end of it.
And I've been sick for the last 3 days, so I didn't have any adventures at all. And I love to go for adventures. Well, we're here. No, yet. We are in Coconut Beach right now. It's a beautiful spot full of coconut trees. And to be fair, they made it for yourself. So if you are able enough, you could get your coconut by yourself.
Yeah, good luck.
They did some cuts on the palm trees, on the coconut trees, so you could go there.
The hike here wasn't that bad because they're actually doing construction work on the road.
I think in a few
it was
years.
actually quite easy, and yeah, maybe in a few months it would actually be all the way through to White Beach.
Yeah, so apparently this is a shortcut to go to White Beach. The only little thing that some people will find an issue with that, for myself, I will not, is that you have to pay $1 to take this little shortcut through the, let's say, the beach.
I think this is a really nice beach if it was a low tide.
Yeah, anyway, like,
But it's really cool with all the coconut trees. Like, look at this jungle. It's so thick.
so thick, yeah. So many
cool.
coconuts. Watch your head, Joy. So finally we're here in White Beach. It's actually a very, very nice beach, very tempting to go swimming. When you walk through the beach, you will see that sign that says, "Don't trespassing, it's private property." We are not sure why. Seems that there is like a hotel or some kind of like a restaurant in there, but it's not clear because nobody is there.
We did go for lunch at the restaurant.
Yeah,
It's really nice food.
it's called the Beach Bar, which is next to the White Beach, in the middle, not in the middle of the jungle, but just kind of exiting the beach. The prices are a bit high, bit pricey, but
As expected, in the middle of a jungle.
exactly, you know, like there is no roads here. The only way to bring stuff is by boat. Definitely worth it, guys. If you have the chance to go to Port Barton, I would say so far it's the best place for me on the Philippines, but we are only in the city number 3. It's very calm, it's very nice, and you have this kind of activities that you can go walk and hike somewhere. We wanted to do an island hopping tomorrow, like a tour. The weather doesn't seem promising, but as people said in Colombia, to the bad weather, good face. So let's do it. Let's see how is the snorkeling. We're supposed to go to 3-4 islands, also do some snorkeling, and also get some lunch on top of that. We basically came here 1 hour walk through the jungle, and now we're gonna come back the other way, but we're gonna do it through the sea, through the water.
Yeah,
Because-
the ladies said that you can walk the beach road instead of walking the jungle road. Let's see.
Yeah,
try
the tide seems a bit low, so as you can see there is a lot of rocks, and I think the beach create a little path to go back to the hotel or to the town. Also, we have to take in count that the sun goes in like an hour, and we need
Yeah.
to make it to the hotel or to the town before the sun goes down because there is no light, as you can see.
So instead of walking on the road there, we decided to walk the beach road, which had a lot more water than expected.
We made it. We're walking back, but the tide went up. So now we have to walk through the water.
Dime, ¿cuántas veces me volviste demente? Ahora sin que estoy tan solo no es fácil. Te quiero, baby, hasta que nazca el sol, hasta que nazca el sol. Dime.
Hi guys, welcome back. So we just finished a few activities for the day. As we said yesterday, we did the island hopping tour, and it's been a blast. It's been nice. It costs only $15 per person and include lunch.
And we've been doing 3 times snorkeling and like 4 different islands.
Yeah, it's very worth the price, to be fair. Yeah.
Takes the entire day. You leave at 9, come back at 4.
Yeah, and we are now in Paradise Island, and it's the only place where you can get beer. So we got a beer now, chilling out here, and then we go into the sandbar. If you ever come to Port Barton, don't miss out this chance. It's definitely worth it, yeah.
You can also do island hopping from El Nido over here. It's
cheaper.
Definitely cheaper. We pay only like 1,000 Filipino peso.
Dime, ¿cuántas veces me volviste demente? Ahora sin ti estoy tan solo, no es fácil. Te quiero, baby, hasta que nazca el sol, hasta que nazca el sol.
The bus from Port Barton to El Nido cost $11 per person and took around 4 hours. Unlike Port Barton, El Nido is a bit more spread out. There's a village where we stayed, and here you can find very nice shops, restaurants, and very good nightlife. Then there's also nice beaches a bit further away, about 30 minutes from the village, where you can have a bit more secluded experience. Many places here are offering island hopping tours, like we did in Port Barton. We didn't do this here because Christian wasn't feeling very well, but there are many different tour packages that you can choose from. Just make sure that you check what your tour includes. Some include things like lunch, snorkel equipment, and a kayak, while others will charge extra for this. The basic tours starts at 1,200 pesos per person, so it's a bit more expensive than Port Barton. Also note that some islands you visit here will have an environmental fee, so in the end, the tours can become a lot more than you think. Next, we took the ferry to Coron. It cost 3,016 pesos, so $53 per person. It's a bit expensive, but an easy option to get between El Nido and Coron. You also have to pay 20 pesos terminal fee and 200 pesos environment tourist fee when you arrive. Coron, the town itself, actually doesn't have that much to offer. There are a few good bars and restaurants. If you'd like pork ribs, like we do, you should go and try Carl's barbecue in town. Like in Port Barton and El Nido, in Coron you can also do island hopping. They have even more tour options than El Nido, including some lakes and safari. And the prices here are a little bit cheaper than El Nido. Since we just got our PADI open water certificate when we were in Indonesia, we didn't do the island hopping tour. Instead, we went for scuba diving, of course. Good morning. It's about 6:30 a.m. here in Coron, and today we are gonna go diving. We got our open water certificate, so now when we're here, we're gonna go and try 3 fun dives. Coron is actually a really good place for diving, as they have Japanese shipwrecks at different depths. If you have an open water certificate, there are 2 really cool shipwrecks that you can go to. And if you have advanced or on a higher level, there are even more ships that you can go to at a deeper level. One of the ships is even so shallow that you can see it in some of the island hopping and snorkeling tours too. We booked our diving with a company called Reggae Dive, which cost $95 for 3 dives, including lunch. We started with a very exciting reef dive. We then went to see our first shipwreck, Teru Kase Maru. It's 40 meters long and depth between 3 to 18 meters. If you are diving, however, they will take you inside the ship. Our dive master was so professional, checking that we were comfortable with going inside the ship and guiding us through the ship as well. Highly recommend diving with Reggae Dive if you come here.
Without my love for the ocean, I would be long gone by now. devotion that brings me down. That without my love for the ocean, I will be no one. No one.
The last dive was at a shipwreck called Morasan Maru. It's a bit bigger, 93 meters long, and also at a lower depth. It has openings to go in and out of the ship, but our guide also took us into the ship, which was a bit darker, and the camera couldn't really capture it, but there was gold plates with names of the crew placed on a wall. It was really cool to see. Overall, it's been such a cool experience and really, really cool day.
Without my love for the ocean, I would be long gone by now.
Just to summarize, Puerto Princesa is the cheapest place to fly to. It's also the cheapest destination to be at. Port Barton was our favorite. It's very quiet, lots of good nature, and also the cheapest place to go island hopping and snorkeling. El Nido, which was our least favorite, is the most expensive and the most touristic place, but it does have the nicest coral reefs for snorkeling and also offers a very good party at night. Coron is a very cool place to go if you like to go diving in shipwrecks. Next, we're gonna go to another island in the Philippines, Cebu, which offers great diving spots all around the island. We stayed in Coron for 3 days and then took a flight with Cebu Pacific to Cebu City, where we stayed one night before continuing to the dive mecca, Malapascua Island, located in the north of Cebu.
It took 3 hours to the port.
Yeah, actually it was a very good transfer. We got a car for ourselves, and we also took a private boat, a big private boat.
A private boat with two of us and a friend.
Yeah.
30 minutes across the bay to the island. And it doesn't drop you at a port and you have to walk. It literally just dropped us at our hotel in front of the beach. So that was fantastic. But when you do that, when you get to the port, you have to pay 120 pesos per person in like a government environmental tourism fee, something like that.
Welcome to Malapascua Island in the Philippines.
Well, actually, what it's called, this island, is Logon.
Logan Island, yeah. We just came here because we heard this is like the mecca for divers, and we just wanted to continue our diving career. Now finishing the scuba diving advanced open water. So now we can go 30 meters under the water.
Yeah, so we have just finished our 2-day course. We've done 5 dives in total, done lots of technical training, and we even got the chance to dive with the treasure sharks.
Yeah, it was an unbelievable experience. It was unreal. Used to be so close to these predator animals that so many people are feared about.
Don't worry, they're vegetarians.
Yeah.
They're more afraid of us, actually. But they're really cool, like super big, like 6 meters.
But if you ever come to Malapascua, don't miss out the treasure sharks, because this is the unique experience where you go into the sharks environment. They are not like feed, or they are not like on cages.
No.
They are not like in an artificial way to keep them near you.
They're located in what they call a cleaning station. So basically there's little fishes that are cleaning them in that spot. So it's just a natural habitat for them.
And it's funny, when they feel tickles, they jump out the water.
Yeah, so you will see them jumping almost like whales would do. We're staying at a place called Evolution Dive Resort. It's actually really, really nice.
Really, really nice. The staff there are very professional, and they always give you that bit of confidence that you need when you go diving.
Our instructor, Gino, he was amazing.
Yeah,
he gave us
5-star.
so much good feedback, constructive feedback to become better divers.
Be also ready, if you come diving, to pay a lot of like fees and marine fees and taxes. They pretty much charge for everything that you do. every day you have to pay like 200, and if you're gonna do the sharks, you pay like 400 extra just for the environment
Per day.
per day. But to be fair, we don't see where this money goes because it's people are still in very precarious conditions. Yeah.
Yeah, people have quite poor living conditions here. Quite a lot of people, I would say,
Yeah.
which is unfortunate. I wish they had better situations.
So we also recommend you, if you are a diver and you come to the island, you can get packages if you do like 10 plus dive. Like we met so many travelers that they just come for like 2 weeks holiday or 1 week holiday, and what they do is only diving. But if you are not a diving fan, I don't know if I will recommend you to come here.
Can you lay on the beach just to chill?
Yes.
Can you go swim on the beach? Not
No.
really. You have to take a boat out.
Yeah, you might need to get a boat and pay him like $20, and then they will take you to some snorkeling spots and go for a swim. And if you go with a group, yeah, maybe cheaper, but
Yeah. We're actually now on the north side of the island. It's a bit more secluded, a lot more quiet, a lot less restaurants, and take you about half an hour to walk here from the south side, and that's where we're staying.
yeah. Apparently this was the most beautiful beach on the island, but to be fair, I think this island is more for divers or people who want to do like activities. There is no an actual like place to swim. It's all full of algae, and there is so many sea oceans on the sea.
So this island actually doesn't have any roads, as you can see.
So we need to wander around. What is the way back?
I really hope this road leads somewhere.
Yeah.
We're probably gonna have to walk back the same way.
Yeah, we just got lost, and
No, we have to go the other way.
yeah, now we have to go the
The
other way.
horses again.
And don't follow Google Maps. It's just
No, Google Maps doesn't work at all here on the island. Like, just wander. Eventually, you end up in someone's backyard.
they will guide you and tell you where to go.
Yeah, there are no signs at all. Just walk around.
We still didn't find our way. We
We're lost in the jungle.
going up and down through hills on an island. Yeah,
And now we found a road.
finally.
No idea where it goes, but hopefully back.
Hopefully.
Every night in the town, there's a big basketball court, and all the different diving schools basically have a basketball team, and they play every night. It's fun for those who like basketball. And every Saturday they have something that they call the disco.
Oh yeah.
So everyone gathers at the basketball court and they play, like, they have a DJ playing very loud music, and people have lots of fun and they're doing barbecues outside and drinking.
Actually, it's a very good night out. Like it's a moment that you can share, or a place that you can share with locals.
Otherwise, it's not that much to do on the island. We ended up going to the same place every night to play some pool, and someone ended up singing karaoke at the end of the night.
Yeah, a few drinks, you know. In Philippines, people love karaoke.
I can be your hero, baby. I can't kiss away the pain.
We took a private boat transfer back to Cebu mainland and then a car to Moalboal, located in the southwest of Cebu. It was expensive, but it was the only transfer that we could find that could take us there in one day. We arrived quite late in Moalboal, but just in time so that we could locate a dive shop and book 2 dives for the morning after. We started early morning with a reef dive, We saw some lively coral reefs and also went inside one of the famous caves they have here.
Oh, I feel so alive. As I reach out to the sky. I found my way. I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day. Cause I found my way. In bad times, I know I'll be okay. Cause I found my way. Cause I found my way.
We then did the sardine run, which, to be honest, is the reason why we are here in Moalboal at all. Wow, this was such a cool experience. As soon as we started descending, you're just surrounded by millions of sardine fishes, and it takes a little while for you to get adjusted, but just feels like you're so dizzy and like you're in a different dimension.
The sardine run was such an amazing experience. When you go down there, you can feel like you're like in a Marvel movie, Doctor Strange, if you know what I mean. And the good thing about doing the scuba diving was that we could stay longer down there than just doing a free dive or snorkeling that I hear from other people. So if you are in Moalboal, I think you should do this activity. It's definitely worth it, and is once in a lifetime experience, and it's something that you will never forget.
Moalboal is a cute town though, with lots of restaurants and bars, and actually really good for backpackers. And we regret only staying one night here because early morning we got picked up at 3 a.m. to go for a sunrise dive with the whale sharks in Oslob.
Well, the first thing when we arrived to the whale shark feeding was the amount of tourists that were there. A huge amount of tourists queuing to go in these little boats and do a snorkel while the locals feed the sharks.
This place is insanely busy, even in low season. This is so popular. People are coming on a day trip from all over the island and even other islands just to swim with the whale sharks. It is overcrowded, but it's actually very organized. We decided, however, to dive instead of snorkel, which is the most popular thing to do. And it doesn't require any waiting time. If you do come and snorkel, be ready to wait in line for a couple of hours at least. To be honest, this whole whale shark experience is not recommended. Because it's not the whale shark's natural environment, they are feeding them to be here for the tourists.
It was a bit sad though. It was a bit sad to see all these animals like being surrounded by so many people and people trying to touch them while they eat them food. I think it's not worth it to do that activity there.
Our time in Oslo was not in vain though. We had the most memorable stay here, as we decided to stay one night instead of continuing on to our next destination right away after the dive. We stayed with a lovely host, Wilma, and her husband, and they are the most caring people. This is probably the best stay we had in the entire Philippines. We were their only guests at the time, and they were checking in on us, what we wanted to do, wanted to see the city, and they took us with their own tricycle into the town, showed us around, shared the history of the city with us, and they even helped us book ferry tickets the next day to Panglao in Bohol. And in the morning, they took us to the port and even waved us goodbye. If you are in Oslo, highly recommend to stay one night to stay with Wilma and her husband. The link to this place is in the description below. You will not regret it. We have arrived in Panglao, a popular destination for travelers coming to Philippines. This city is really nice, with lots of bars and restaurants and even nightclubs, so it's great for backpackers. For divers, this is also a very popular destination, as not far from the mainland is the island of Balikasag.
So in Balikasag is a natural marine reserve, and only 100 divers can go in a day they trying to avoid the contamination near the seas where all these beautiful marine species live. I think it's one of the best dive I ever done in my life in Balikasag. There is a lot of marine life surrounded that area, and what we were being told by the locals is that that marine sanctuary is protected by the government, so local fishermen cannot go there to do any kind of fishing, and we find that something very cool, very nice, because we need to protect the oceans. Make sure if you're gonna dive there to do your booking in advance, because if you don't do it, you might need to wait for around 2 days to get that spot to dive in that beautiful place. We do recommend you to go and do dive with Philippines fun divers. I'm sure you're gonna enjoy it and you will have a lot of fun.
Our time in Philippines has come to an end. We took the ferry back to Cebu City, where we stayed one night before flying with Cebu Pacific to our next destination, country number 12, Australia, where we are going to do a road trip from Melbourne to Cairns. Don't miss that. If you are flying this route, we recommend checking Cebu Pacific on Thursdays, because they have this special offer where you get really good discounts on Thursday specifically. We flew from Cebu to Melbourne for $232 per person.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you do, please just don't forget to hit the like button, and
If you want to continue following our journey, hit subscribe button.
if you ever been here in Port Barton and we miss out some information, please don't forget to write it down in the comments below, so people can be aware, or people are aware of things that we didn't do.
Yep. See you soon.
See you soon. Good vibes.
We don't need the past in our lives for tomorrow. Never see the end of the night filled with sorrow. What do we do to love? What do we do to love?